my fellow creatures. Most of you already know who I am, but for those transferred from another land, welcome. My name is Twilight Sparkle, Queen of Equestria. If you're watching this tape, you've been granted Diamond level clearance to participate in Project CometRad. The following tape will train you for your assigned role as either an artifact distributor, rift guard, researcher, or broadcaster. But before we start training, what is Project CometRad? I'm so glad you asked. The following segment will brief you on the basics and history of Project CometRad. After all, you can't fight what you don't know about. Project CometRad can be traced to one seemingly innocuous event 8 years ago. Two sisters from the village of Misty Hollows, Moth Orchid and Spider Lily, went for a walk in the surrounding forest and were never seen again, later presumed to be dead. The incident was at first not considered a sign of danger due to the prevalence of dangerous fauna in the region. But 7 years later, Spider Lily came back. She was immediately hospitalized in critical condition while the mysterious devices she had were sent to Counterlab for further study due to their unknown signature. However, it was only when Spider Lily recovered enough to be taken in for questioning that the truth came out. A mysterious figure, which Spider Lily called the Angel of Death, attacked the two sisters on their walk and pulled them into a pocket dimension. Exactly what the two went through is still unknown. All that's known is while Spider Lily survived and was able to escape, her older sister didn't. The Royal Guard was put on high alert for any potential threat, especially since the magic signature on the devices didn't match any power known. Eventually, the figure was spotted again, and the strongest heroes of Equestria and beyond were mobilized. But their powers had no effect, and the figure soon vanished. While the task of location is still ongoing, the problems for Equestria and beyond were far from over. With Spider Lily's assistance, the Royal Research Bureau discovered the device's functions. One of them was designed to detect the stability of our homeworld. The results were troubling, to say the least. Bit by bit, our world is becoming less stable, and strong evidence points to it being caused by the Angel of Death damaging it from the outside. Spider Lily explained to us what would happen when our world's stability went to zero. Our world would be...
I think she's gone for now. I think Twilight was able to bust out of that thing. Broke my whole foot. That doesn't matter. After one that was the world she left before. Keep calm, fighting. That thing might say it's zero, but I got time. Right? Don't I? Come on! Almost there! Do it for God's sake! She's counting on you! I did it! Now I just gotta press the button. Press the button. What? No. What? Maybe it's just glitching. It has to be. Everyone! Excuse my potty mouth! But break your face up! See, Spidey? It was just a glitch. You can just step through there and everything is gonna be just... Everything's gone! No! All the others, from all the others, they're all gonna die! I don't want them to die! I don't want to
It became clear the world needed a plan not only to protect themselves, but to evacuate if need be. But the source of the great tech jump was so thoroughly connected that it would easily fall with ours, and the Chaos Realm was known to drive everyone not bearing an element to madness inside. Eventually, a suitable world was found, one similar to ours where the recent crystalline comet crashed into the planet instead of being a near miss. The comet killed almost everything when it impacted, but the world was still livable. Furthermore, the magic contained in the comet's head acted as a natural barrier against outside entry, making it the perfect evacuation site. Negotiations with that world's survivor shelters are ongoing, but progressing smoothly. So now that you know CometRad's origins, we can circle back to what the project is. Project CometRad is the classified action plan for dealing with the Angel of Death. Its primary aims are research into defensive measures, containment of the Angel of Death, distribution of escape and/or defense options, alerting and/or evacuating the public if destruction can't be averted. It may seem like a tall order, but know you've been trained for this position and have trustworthy mentors to turn to if you need assistance. If you've been designated as a researcher, your job is, well, to research the strange devices, how to fight the Angel of Death's magic, dimensional calibration, creating teleportation artifacts, the works. Whether it's reading up info or studying in the castle labs, your research is at the front lines of most other positions. Though this job is pretty self-explanatory, there are still rules you need to follow. When researching the devices, do not tamper with them in any unauthorized way. Doing so could alter their functions or render them unusable. When collecting samples of their magic signature, only use a celestial-grade mana pipette, then transport it to the nearest amplifier to grow it to a moldable level. Do not remove the signature until this level is reached. This goes for researching both devices and defense. Do not leave to collect direct samples. Either amplify the magic signature of devices or wait for rift guards to return from their missions. When experimenting with dimension calibration, do not use the evacuation site as a source. This could potentially alert the Angel of Death and render the evacuation plan useless. Use only the approved dimension signature given to you by the research supervisor. When creating artifact prototypes, only use properly scanned and approved gemstones. Failure to do so could result in cursed prototypes unsuitable for testing. All gems found will be properly scanned by both your supervisor and the artifact distribution team. Under no circumstances should the prototypes come into contact with the Angel of Death's magic, as this could result in corruption or destruction of the prototype. For those researching via reading, do not read books from the Forbidden Archives unprompted. Any requests to read material from the Forbidden Archives must be submitted to either me or your supervisor. If you have any further questions or concerns, please contact Official Research Supervisor Lester Dawn. Rift Guards are the most important creatures in the early stages of the project. If you've been designated as a Rift Guard, you're at the front lines against the Angel of Death. After detection, your tasks include locating the Angel of Death, attempting containment, collecting magic samples for research if possible, and assisting anyone in the area still outside. Here are the basic guidelines for the Rift Guard position. Once training is complete, you will be gifted a tracker that'll tell you when and where the Angel of Death appears. You must have this device on you at all times. When the appearance alarm goes off, check the device's GPS and go to the location of the red dot. Do not go to any other location. You never know how long the Angel of Death will be in our world at a time, so you are on a clock. In the location phase, keep a low profile and stay as hidden as the environment allows. This also applies for when the Angel of Death is located, unless they're an obvious threat to someone in the area. When attempting containment or collecting magic samples, don't come into direct contact unless absolutely necessary. Failure to do so could result in exposure of the project, serious injury, or death. Due to the Angel of Death's proven threat, Level 5 full body magic armor must be worn at all times on missions. Level 5 magic guards are also mandatory when containing, fighting, or collecting samples from the Angel of Death. Failure to comply with this dress code will result in either transfer to another department or termination of CometRad status. When attempting containment, you're required to use a Turic level dampening spell as a group. As such, no creatures without spellbound magic should be in charge of containment. When collecting magic samples, only use centaur siphons of level 3 or lower from a safe distance. Collecting samples too large or too close could result in dire consequences. If a direct conflict is necessary, do not hesitate or hold back. Fighting the Angel of Death requires the strongest fighters in Equestria and beyond, magical or not. If at any point death or loss becomes almost certain for the Rift Guards, the locators will automatically send out a distress call. Within no more than 2 minutes of this call, Queen Twilight and/or the nearest group of heroes will arrive and assist with the battle. So stay calm. Equally as important as these previous tasks is ensuring everyone in the area is safe and inside. The Equestrian Alert System will broadcast a standard shelter-in-place warning advising all to stay indoors until the Angel of Death leaves or is dealt with. But there will always be creatures who didn't get the message or refuse to stay inside. If you encounter someone still outside, calmly inform them of the warning and escort them into the nearest building. If they are stubborn and refuse to heed, light force is authorized. Light force includes levitating them inside if you have magic, putting them on your back to fly them inside if you have wings, or grabbing their forelimb to calmly lead them inside. Brutality towards creatures of any kind will not be tolerated, and will result in termination from CometRad and the Royal Guard. If someone is directly threatened by the Angel of Death, wait until defensive Rift Guards have her distracted to get the citizen away. Their safety is your top priority. If the creature you find is unconscious, carefully move them into the nearest building however you can. If you have any further questions or concerns, please contact official Rift Guard Supervisor, Tempest Shadow. Stay close, Lily. A Manticore or Naga could be around.
But Maudie, we haven't had a sister walk in ages. I don't hear anything.
No buts. Just because you don't see anything doesn't mean there isn't something dangerous here. I get you're excited, but please, run around excited closer to me.
I guess I have to. Thanks for taking me on the sister hike, Mothi.
It's no problem. I always like having you here when collecting supplies.
I can look for interesting plants and stuff.
Lily, all you need to do is have fun. Spotting herbs takes a...
Oh, that tree looks like a chicken. And that bug looks like a fairy. And those plants look like pretty lilies.
Whoa, don't go over there. That's Poison Joke.
And that thing looks like a pony.
Wait, what?
Over there on the path. I think they're sleeping.
Oh my Twilight. Hang on, Lily. I need to check if they're okay. Looks like she's breathing. And her heart's still beating.
I told you she was just taking a nap.
You don't know that from a distance. We could have had to fight off something bad.
But I was right. And what good would fighting you right now?
Ma'am? Ma'am? She's not responding.
You could try True Love's Kiss.
What? No! We'll have to get her to the clinic. Lily, can you?
Don't mind if I do. What you did wouldn't wake her up anyways. I have a better idea.
Lily, that's not what I meant.
Don't care. Here goes. Wake up!
Lily, not in the woods! You could have triggered something dangerous!
No, I didn't. And look. I told you it would just work.
I'm not even gonna talk anymore.
I woke you up from a nap.
I hadn't noticed.
How do you not notice?
She's being sarcastic, Lily. We found you passed out here. Oh, you're alright, ma'am?
Never better.
But you were passed out on the path.
Oh, you'd be surprised the places I end up in the same situation.
Okay. Well, I intern at a clinic in Misty Hollows a couple minutes away. I think we should at least stop there. Ponies don't just pass out on a whim like that.
No, it's not a big deal. I'm right where I need to be.
I don't get it.
You will, you two. You will. Is anyone around here?
Not till Misty Hollows.
I told you I wouldn't attract anything.
Lily, do not start. I'm not comfortable with how this pony's acting.
Now what makes you say that? I know exactly what I'm doing.
Well, ma'am, we're gonna head back to Misty Hollows and let the clinic know of this. You can follow if you want, but they'll be on the look for you. We take creatures' health seriously in this town.
You know how I said I'm right where I need to be?
Yes? What does that have to do with this?
Well... so are you.
What? No. What are you? What do you want from us? Lily! Quick! If you've been designated as an artifact distributor, you have 2 missions. Your starting task will be collecting gems in the land's various gem sites marked out by Friendship Council member Rarity. These gems will be used to create teleportation artifacts used by creatures without spellbound magic in an emergency. Once the perfect prototype is created, the research team will mass produce the prototype with any gems found. Your main job from there will be distributing the artifacts to all creatures who need them. At the time of this recording, mandatory teleportation classes are being taught in schools and public centers for those with spellbound magic. Should our destruction become inevitable, these pendants will be distributed to all creatures for the mass evacuation. Artifact distribution is the easiest position in Project CometRad, and most watching this tape have this title. That being said, there are still important rules you have to follow. When collecting gems, prospecting beyond listed sites is allowed but not encouraged, and should never be done alone. Don't go far from your team unless accompanied by 4 creatures or more. If a gemstone triggers feelings of unease, illness, or other negative effects when held or looked at, the gem is most likely corrupted by dark magic. Do not collect these gems. Instead, put them in the designated corrupted waste bin on site to prevent collection by another, as some creatures have stronger reactions to corrupted gems than others. As such, all gems collected should be given to the AD Gem Collection Supervisor at the end of a shift for proper screening. When a successful artifact is mass-produced, you will be given a list of creatures you must deliver the artifacts to. Each distributor will have a list of different creatures and addresses to deliver to, and at least 4 distributors will go to a given town at a time. Do not stray from your group unless you see an address on your list. Make sure everyone on your list for a certain address receives their artifacts. You will also be gifted a detector similar to Rift Guards. Immediately halt distribution if the Angel of Death appears and find a secure place to hide, like a building, cave, or bunker. Do not continue delivery or leave your shelter until the detector shows that the Angel of Death has left our world. When delivering the artifacts, do not tell creatures about Project CometRad or the Angel of Death. Doing so could trigger mass panic and possible revolts that could damage or destroy our world's last hope. Instead, say the artifacts are being distributed to bring more magical equity to the world, something I've been wanting to do anyways, were it not for this situation. Explain that these artifacts are to be used only in emergencies, but should not be separated from their owners. While it won't hurt someone if they use their artifact when it isn't an emergency, the Angel of Death could surely adapt and render the artifacts useless if they found out. Should our destruction become certain before a perfect prototype's creation, the most successful prototype will be produced and distributed instead to every creature, whether they have spellbound magic or not. From there, your work is done. Information on how mass evacuation will commence will be tackled in the broadcaster training section of this tape, so don't turn it off. A few days after a delivery quest, Royal Guards will check an area to ensure all artifacts were delivered. Failure to deliver artifacts as advised will result in penalties ranging from repeat training to termination of status, depending on both how many were delivered and how late along the delivery was. If you have any further questions or concerns, please contact Official Gem Collection Supervisor Mod Pi or Official Artifact Distribution Supervisor Onigiri. Finally, we have one of the most important positions of later phases, the Broadcaster. Only a few creatures have this position, but for those lucky few, here's what to expect. While the Equestrian Alert System has smaller alerts like Shelter-in-Place Covered, we'll need to send a message on a much larger scale that can't be missed should destruction be inevitable. That's where you come in. Your job is to send a pre-recorded physical broadcast to the public via the specially built Sound Center. This will be connected to various invisible shields around all kingdoms, cities, and towns in the event of our world's instability. Sending these messages is as easy as it comes. You just press the button to send the assigned message, and it'll transmit through the shields. This message will also come through speakers between towns to reach anyone not near a shield. Once a month, this system will be tested with a non-alert sound to ensure everything works. You will also be in charge of sending out these tests. Here's everything you need to know about broadcasting these messages. The button to broadcast a test will be clearly marked on the Sound Center's console. However, like all broadcast buttons on the console, it will not allow you to send the test until every shield and speaker is connected. To connect a shield or speaker to the Sound Center, flip the switch on the console above that indicated area. A green light should turn on above each switch when they're connected. Do not press the test button until all shields and speakers are connected, as this could lead to the Sound Center systems being damaged. The following audio is what will play in the event of a test. If the light above a switch is red instead of green, it means there's a problem with its connection, either from damage, a glitch, or some other reason. If that happens, or if a message fails to go through in an area despite the light being green, notify Queen Twilight and your supervisor immediately. Do not send a test or a message when the Angel of Death is known to be in our world. But do not halt a message if the Angel of Death appears during one. The 3 buttons for warnings are sealed off with both physical and magical locks to prevent false broadcasts. In the event that these messages need to be broadcast, Twilight will unlock them. Even so, more dire messages will not be able to broadcast until the messages before them are. You are not to broadcast these messages unless authorized to do so. Failure to abide by this protocol will result in immediate termination from your position and the project. There are 3 warning messages that can be broadcast. The white card message, or CometRad 1, the red card message, or CometRad 2, and the black card message, or CometRad 3. All previous protocols used for tests apply here. In addition, standard EAS alerts will be sent out in the event of an emergency. The following audio clips are the pre-recorded messages for these warnings to give you an understanding of the nature of their situations. I must warn you, these messages will get very disturbing and may be too much for some watching this. Viewer discretion is advised.
Message has been broadcast at the request of Queen Twilight. A powerful threat has been attacking the borders of this world that your queen and fellow heroes are valiantly fighting. As such, all creatures should be prepared to evacuate if the situation worsens. If you're in a kingdom, city, or town, do not leave under any circumstances. If you are not in one, seek shelter in the nearest settlement. If you have spellbound magic, reduce usage to the bare minimum, as casting spells can increase the threat's power and damage. If you see any magic phenomena like daytime auroras, rifts, or spontaneously teleporting objects, do not approach. These are signs of the threat's magic which, if approached, have the potential to erase you from existence forever. Report any magic phenomena to the local police or Royal Guard immediately. We will announce when the threat has ended or if an evacuation is necessary. All citizens of Equestria and beyond should follow these instructions under Protocol 1. White card. Is sent on behalf of Queen Twilight. This is a crisis warning. The previously mentioned threat's damage has reached a point where the destruction of our world is inevitable. There is nothing creature kind can do to prevent this calamity. This is not a drill. If you have not done so already, prepare for you and your family to evacuate. A Canterlet-sanctioned teleportation artifact will be given to all creatures of the world. Do not leave the settlement you're in or remove your artifact under any circumstances. When an evacuation begins, a magic burst will be sent through all transmission shields, activating the artifacts and sending all wearing them to the evacuation site. Once again, do not approach any magic phenomena. They are now powerful enough that being within 30 feet is fatal. There is a maximum 14 days before our doomsday. Plan how you want to spend those days wisely. We will announce when the evacuation will begin. You are now directed to follow these instructions under Protocol 2, red card. This is a global emergency. Please stand by. The following message has been issued by Queen Twilight. This is an evacuation warning. Our world has reached a critical threshold. Within 24 hours, it will be destroyed. This is not a drill. Hold any pets or objects close. Make sure you have your teleportation artifacts. Make sure everyone in your home is ready. The Canterlet Defense Initiative prays and pleads with you. Please, get prepared now. The teleportation will occur shortly. Twilight or your kingdom's leader will direct everyone when you reach the evacuation site. Though this is the end of the world we know and our new home won't be easy to adapt to, all creatures must stand strong. No matter what comes next, the motto of Equestria stands true for all. Love will be our light, friendship will be our compass, and resilience will be our armor. Prepare for this new beginning and give one last glimpse of the world that will soon be gone. This message will now conclude under Protocol 3, black card. Goodbye to all kingdoms of this world. And goodbye to Equestria.
If you have any further questions or concerns, please contact Official Broadcast Supervisor, Flooring Fire. Thank you for watching this training module. Further training will be conducted by your position supervisors. If you have any questions or concerns, contact either me or Royal Guard Captain Gallus. We look forward to the service you'll bring to Project CometRad.